The Liberty Head Double Eagle $20 gold coin was brought into being by another act of Congress. March 3rd, 1849, the Gold Act, or Coinage Act of 1849, was passed. This actually created two new denominations of coins, the $1 coin and the $20 coin. If it weren't for the efforts of Congressman James McKay of North Carolina, we might not have a $20 double eagle. The initial bill stated that only dollar coins would be produced, but he pushed the $20 double eagles through. James McKay actually said that the $20 double eagles would probably become even more popular than the dollar coins, and if we look at history, they have. The reason for the passage of the Gold Act of 1849 is pretty obvious if you were in those times. The California gold rush was happening at the moment. All this gold was being mined, and the highest denomination that the US government was creating in gold coins was the eagle of the $10 piece. Well, that just wasn't enough. They weren't able to keep up. So to solve this, they passed the Act of 1849, which would create $1 coins and the $20 double eagle coins. So we can thank the gold rush for our creation of our beloved $1 gold coins and the one we're discussing right now, which is my favorite, the double eagle. Another little tidbit of information that kind of goes along with this is the fact that during the passage of this, our country really didn't have a president. Zachary Taylor, who had been elected as president, decided not to take the office on the 4th because it was on a Sunday. So he took the office on the 5th, which was the following Monday, but for one day there, we didn't have a president of the United States. And Zachary Taylor also was only in office for like 500 days, so he was a very short-term president. The Gold Act of 1849 stated that the Liberty Head Double Eagle, or the new Double Eagle coin, the $20 piece, was to be 516 grains. That's about 90% gold and 10% copper. Now, purity-wise, that's about 0.967 ounces of actual pure gold. The person put in charge of designing the new Double Eagle was James Longacre. James Longacre came to the mint in 1844 amidst a lot of inner fighting that was going on. He was the chief engraver, but the chief coiner was a guy named Franklin Pill. Franklin Pill was the chief coiner at the mint when Longacre came. Now, Franklin Pill actually was doing some unethical practices at the mint. He ran his own business. He thought that all the mint resources and equipment were his to use at his own disposal. And so Longacre and Franklin Pill actually got in quite a few arguments about where the resources should go, whether it should go to the mint or to Franklin's own business. This, of course, caused a lot of strife in between these two guys. I mean, they hated each other and they were fighting constantly. Well, Pill, who had been there before Longacre actually came, allied himself with Mint Director Patterson. And both of these guys, Patterson and Pill, tried to get Longacre fired. Well, Longacre went to Senator John C. Calhoun and actually stopped that from happening. But later on, Pill was fired from his position in 1854 because of some of his unethical practices that he was doing at the mint. Now, Longacre isn't perfect. In our times, he's been criticized, he's been called underqualified for the position, and etc., etc. But in my book, if you look at the Liberty, if you look at the classic design of it and how great it actually looks, and the eagle on the back, and the beauty that this coin represents, I myself think the guy was a great artist and did a really great job designing the classic Double Eagle. Now let's talk about the actual design of the Liberty Double Eagle. Longacre has been said to have actually taken the Liberty Head on the obverse from a Hellenistic sculpture called the Crouching Venus. Now you can see that classic goddess design on the obverse. I mean, it's very elegant and very nice. And she's surrounded by 13 stars, which represent the original 13 colonies. The reverse has the American eagle, with its head tilted sideways. And in one claw, it's got an olive branch, and in the other, it has arrows. Now, my personal opinion is that the Liberty Head Double Eagle Reverse has the most beautiful American eagle that's ever been put on a coin. And its elegance, its character, its dramatic, its detail is just so powerful that, in my own opinion, I think it's the most beautiful reverse eagle that's out there. The design for the Liberty Head Double Eagle began in 1849, but it was kind of put on the back burner. The $1 gold coins were put on a high priority list to complete, so Longacre got those finished, got those out of the way, and he started on the Double Eagle. Now, his first attempt on the Double Eagle, he failed, and he had to go back and start it all over again. And he had a few other problems too, and he brought some outside help out to actually help him finish. He also had problems with Franklin Pill. Franklin Pill wrote Mint Director Patterson trying to get the coin shut down so that it would not be produced in 1849 at all, because they were having problems actually making the coins. But eventually, in late 1849, Longacre completed 2 proofs. One proof is in the Smithsonian. The second proof was sent to Treasury Secretary William Meredith at the time. Now that coin is missing. No one knows where it is. It's a great mystery. I mean, it could be in someone's attic or someone's basement, but that coin is worth absolute millions of dollars. By February 1850, the regular dies were complete and regular production of the Liberty Head Double Eagle was scheduled for a go. Now, when the coin came out, the newspapers of the day gave it horrible reviews. They said the head was off center, the eagle on the back was not very attractive. They just gave it negative review after negative review. Now, this was very typical of 1800s publications. Every coin that was created in the 1800s in the United States got bad reviews. The media just did not like the US Mint or something. I don't know what was going on, but I believe it to be a very beautiful coin. The Liberty Double Eagle had a long production range. From 1849, which is kind of questionable, it might be 1850, but it did come out in 1849, until 1907. Now, there are 3 major type varieties within its production run. There's a Type 1, which is a no motto 20D. The no motto means that "In God We Trust" was not on the currency. And on the back on the reverse, it said 20D instead of $20. The second variety type was from 1866 to 1876, and this is the motto type. This is when they originally put "In God We Trust" on our currency. And the back still had 20D, which hadn't changed, so the reverse was still the same. The only thing that was different was "In God We Trust." The third variety type was from 1876 until 1907. Now, this has the motto "In God We Trust" on it, but the 20D has been replaced on the reverse with $20. And the actual obverse, the Liberty Head, from just my observation of the coins, has been more centered than it was on the previous types. The Liberty Head Double Eagle was produced in just about all the mints. It was produced in the Philadelphia Mint. It was produced in the Carson City, Nevada Mint. It was produced in the San Francisco Mint. It was produced in the New Orleans Mint. It was produced even in the Denver Mint in 1906. So there are a lot of different mint marks out there you can look for when collecting the Liberty Head Double Eagle. Well, we've talked about the history of the Liberty Head Double Eagle. Now let's talk about collecting. Now, first off, they're gold coins. Gold scare a lot of people. It's the price, because the spot value of gold right now is very high up there, and you're probably not going to find a Liberty Head Double Eagle for under $900. So be aware that you're going to shell out some major cash for these coins because they're very expensive. Now, as we discussed, there are 3 different type varieties of the Liberty Head Double Eagle. Type 1, which is the no motto, Type 2, which is the motto with the 20D, and Type 3, which has the motto and says $20 on the reverse rather than 20D. Now, my own personal opinion when actually collecting Liberty Head Double Eagles, I would look for sleepers. Now, a sleeper coin is a coin that's got a low mintage, and in the price book, it's actually pretty low too. Now, you can collect and look for sleepers at the same time. Like for instance, myself, I'm collecting from 1900 until 1907 all the Liberty Head double eagles and all the mint marks. And there's some very interesting coins in that too. Some of the ones that I collect in the 1900 to 1907 that are actually would be considered sleepers are like the 1901, the 1902, the 1903, and the 1905 Philadelphia Mint coins. These have pretty low mintage. Like for instance, the 1905 Philly Mint only has, I think, about 60,000 minted, which is pretty low for a Liberty Head double eagle. So my recommendation to you is look for sleepers. If you're collecting, you can do what I'm doing and actually collect 1900 to 1907 and get those sleepers along with it so you have them, so that if something actually does happen and those coins go through the roof in price, you've got them and you got a great deal on them. Some of the other coins that can be considered sleepers that aren't in the range that I'm actually collecting are like the 1890s. Some of those have low mintage too. Now, your best thing for collecting, if you're going to collect to invest, you need to get a red book. Get a red book. There are several books out there that actually talk about the Liberty Head double eagles, and it goes through each year and gives you some of the specific details about how many were minted, how many were melted down, so you have more of a broad base before you actually put down your money to buy one of these coins. Another thing to do when you're actually purchasing these coins is only buy encapsulated coins that have been graded by the top tier grading services. If the deal looks too good to be true and you're buying it like on eBay or whatever, be careful, because there are a lot of fakes out there. Gold is at an all-time high right now. A lot of people are looking to make a quick profit. So be careful when buying these coins, and my recommendation to you is buy only encapsulated coins from the top 3 tier grading services. Avoid buying common date Liberty Head double eagles, unless you're actually buying them from bullion. I myself, I own several for bullion purposes, but I love them so much that I had to buy them, even though they've got a premium on them. But it's just one of my favorite coins, so that's why I purchased it. But if you're gonna purchase uncertified coins, make sure you get them from a trusted coin dealer, please, because you can get ripped off. Gold prices are so high right now that there's a lot of people out there that will take advantage of you. So make sure that they're trusted. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Spare Change. In the next edition of Spare Change, we're going to talk about some cheaper coins. Well, relatively cheaper. The Franklin 50-cent pieces. And we're going to go over all the aspects of those, and a lot of you guys can actually collect those instead of some of this high-end stuff I've been talking about. Well, I'm Mark Absalon. You have a great evening, morning, or afternoon, and keep looking for the next episode of Spare Change.